Alright, they want us to graph this conic section and label directrix, focus, vertex, all that good stuff. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to factor out of -5, so this is going to be -6y, and I'm going to subtract the 11 to the other side, okay, because that's what we do when we complete the square. Now I'm going to add half of -6 squared, which is 9, and I'm also going to add, I'm not really adding 9, I'm actually subtracting 45, right? So I'm going to also subtract 45 from the other side. So here's my next equation. X minus 56 equals -5 times y minus 3 squared. Alright, so that gives me what my, hold on one second. Now what I need to do, because you remember the formula for your parabola in your book is when it's a sideways opening one, it's going to be y minus k squared equals 4p times x minus h. So I want to put this over by the linear term. So I'm actually going to divide by 5. So there's my equation. Alright, so that means, I'm going to go ahead and erase this so I have a little bit more room to work with. Now I'm going to take, if you saw that formula I had down there, this equals 4p. Which means p equals, I'm going to divide both sides by 4, -1/20th. Which seems crazy, but it's not that big of a deal. Whatever it is, it is. That just means it is a narrower parabola. And so it's a sideways opening parabola. I'm going to change colors here to green. My vertex of my parabola is positive 56, comma, positive 3. So it's way over here. It's 3 up and it's 56. So that point right there is 56, comma, 3. P is -1/20. Since P is negative, it opens left, not right. It opens left, not down, because the y was being squared. So it's going to open like this. My graph's going to open like this. And that means that the P, I'll use purple. P right there, that point is -1/20th away from that point. So that means I have to subtract 1/20th from 56. So that point right there is 55 and 19/20ths, comma 3. That's what that point is. That's my focus. Now I'll use gold for my directrix. And the directrix is the same distance away, but on the outside of the graph. And so that's just a vertical line, and that vertical line is going to be x equals, and what's that value? I have to add 1/20th to 56. So it's 56 and 1/20th. That's what that point is. Or that's what the directrix is. So here's my directrix. Here's my focus. Here's my vertex. And my graph is there in green. Let's try another one. Again, this is going to be a sideways opening parabola. And so let's complete the square. Let's first add 3 to both sides. This is easier to do because completing the square just means I have to add 1 to both sides. I usually like to do that in red so you can see what I'm introducing to the equation. I'm adding a 1 to both sides. And so this becomes x plus 4 equals y plus 1 squared. And also notice there's no coefficients out in front of anything, which means p, 4p equals 1, which means p equals 1/4. So let's do our same thing as we did before. Here's my vertex is equal to -4, -1. Just pulling those values right out. So I like to just draw the graph while I do this so that it's easier to see. So -4, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's my vertex right there. My P is positive 1/4. That means that it's opening. Remember, it was opening left or right, and since the P was a positive, it's opening to the right, so my graph is doing that. And I always draw that in because it helps me know which way to go for my vertex, or sorry, for my focus and directrix. So again, I'll change colors. I'll go orange. So there's right there, and the distance between that and that is 1/4. I know it doesn't look like 1/4, but let's say that it is. So what's that point right there? If I went 1/4 to the right, that means I'm adding 1/4, -4, which means it's -3 3/4, comma -1. That's my focus. The directrix, I'll use blue, is going to be 1/4 this way on the outside, and it's a vertical line. So the directrix is going to be -4 1/4, because I'm adding a fourth, or to right, x equals, because it's a vertical line. And so there are all my important points and characteristics, and there's my graph. That's how you do that. So watch those again and maybe try a couple more on your own.